Hi Ayush, welcome to All Things Movies. Happy to have you here. I'm a huge movie buff and I love watching movies and also talking about them. So, आज we are talking about Hindi medium. Obviously, missing Irrfan Khan already, but thankfully, we've got such rich movies that he did that we can talk about. So, why don't we start by
Definitely.
you telling us a little bit about yourself?
Thanks, Priya, for inviting me. I'm Ayush. I'm from Jamshedpur, but currently I'm staying in Mumbai. I'm on all possible online platforms, so whether it's Netflix, Prime, Hotstar, MX Player, Z5, and I love watching plays. So that's the reason why I'm here. Priya and me share the same passion for movies.
Great. So getting right into the movie, which is Hindi medium.
See, I think it's a great movie. We've seen movies like these in the past as well, but none of them were directed so well. And this was more about the situational comedy at which Irfan Khan aces, right? Along with the Pakistani actress Saba, the exchange of dialogues between both of them were like really good, outstanding. So that was the highlight of this movie.
Yeah, and so Saket Chaudhary obviously directed the movie. I don't think I had seen such compelling work from him before this. So he was part of Ashoka and he did direct Pyar Ke Side Effects and then Shadi Ke Side Effects, which were also strong,
Yes.
satirical take on society, which seems to be his genre, and that comes out so strongly in Hindi
Yes.
media. जहाँ पे basically they pick up a situation that we're so embedded in, and shows it to the audience from his lens. Loved it. Loved the overall direction. Loved Irfan Khan. Saba we'll come to in a bit. I'm not sure I liked her that much.
Sure.
Loved Deepak Dobriyal in the movie. And what do you think about the whole feel of the subject that they hit?
So I think the main reason why this director chose this topic to make a movie is because this is quite relevant in our society right now, and
Yeah.
it will stay relevant for a long time.
Yeah, and you won't believe it, or maybe you will, because you've also seen such cases. I know of people who do this. Don't
Yeah.
go to the extent of living a poor man's life to take away somebody else's quota. But
Yeah.
people who just obsess over the type of school that their kids go to, just so that unka utna baitna ho sake with the biggest and the topmost people in society.
I was never exposed to this kind of like a scenario in a city because I was born and brought up in an industrial town, and there we didn't have these kind of this kind of an approach. I mean, Delhi is altogether a different ball game. But
Yeah.
how we see people like there is like from touched so many topics in this movie, right from the acceptance of people in the posh societies to acceptance of children in their friend circle,
Yeah.
from reaching out to a consultant for getting admitted to the best school in Delhi, to wearing branded clothes to impress people. I mean, even the kitty parties, acceptance to the kitty parties was based on which school your child went to, right?
Yeah.
So these were some of the striking things which I came across, and I never heard of this before. I mean, I don't know about you, but this was quite new to me.
Yeah, so I live in London, where the concept of catchment area is very strong. Because if you're
Okay.
not in a catchment area where the school is, then your kid
Yeah.
won't get access to that school. However, the
Okay.
driver there is that you won't get access to a public school in that area. And you don't want to pay for education in a country like the UK because it's so expensive. So you move everything to go there so that good education can become affordable. Now,
Nice.
now that seems like a need, and what the government probably there has done has made private and public education somewhat at par. There are still people who would want to go and put their kids in very expensive private education, but there you understand the need. In India, I have not seen such extreme scenarios, but I have seen people moving around and being extremely pompous about what kind of schools their children go to. So I feel like, I get it when I saw Irfan Khan and
Yeah.
Saba be like that. And actually, Saba was more like that than Irfan. But I kind of felt क्या हो रहा है and क्यों हो रहा है.
मुझे जितना याद है कि जो जो सिफारिश की बात होती है, सिफारिश तो होती थी, मतलब ये जो पुरानी बातें हैं, राइट?
Hmm.
People do go to an extent to get strong recommendations so
Yeah.
that their children get into the best of the schools. So I don't know, like it was always there, but now it's become a, what do you call it, organized business, right? What they try to show it in this movie, that there's a POC, there's a point of contact for getting things done. So
Yeah.
that was, I don't know whether it was there during our times or not.
Yeah, it was great. I think the way the movie dealt with a very sensitive topic was huge. Well done. Um,
Yeah.
I think overall, so coming back to Sabah, I think the movie wanted us to not like her. She did that really well because every time she said something, whether it was about the kid or whether it was just plainly blaming her husband for things that he had no control on, uh, I felt like ये ऐसा क्यों बोल रही है? Why is she like this? I mean,
Yeah,
ऐसा कौन होता है? And how can somebody like a person like this? Maybe
exactly. I
she was
mean,
convincing that way.
yeah, I mean, Irfan Khan was always proud of his background,
Yeah,
right? He was never right. So you can make out that he was not good at being politically correct at all the time, right? So you remember when the consultant asks him to just respond to the questions that might come in their interviews, and he was not able to come up with the politically correct answers to the
yeah,
consultant, and he failed miserably during the interviews as well. You remember that one question on sharing is caring,
yeah,
right? How do you introduce the concept of poverty to your children? And then he told that it's quite evident. No,
it's
I don't
everywhere.
need to teach them. It's
Yeah,
everywhere. But he very bluntly said that. But that's how he is. That's how the character is.
yeah,
And because of his powerful acting, he was able to convey that, and we perceived
yeah,
him as that simpleton.
yeah,
But he failed at every interview because he cannot be someone else. He can't
yeah,
be someone else, and that's the beauty of the character, which you rightly highlighted,
yeah,
in contrast to his wife.
yeah. Talking about the other characters, so Amrita Singh, I think, was a bit underutilized in the movie. Um,
Perfect. You're right. You're right.
because there were many layers to why she was doing what she was doing. I think they just touched it slightly and then left it there.
Yes. Priya, I think we should just stop doing the public declaration of your opinion scenes in the movies. When Irfan Khan takes the stage and tries to talk to every parent in that podium, telling them that what he's been through, and what could have been different, and he wants to take his child from this school and put her in a different school. So I mean that's something which I feel that it's not required right now,
Yeah,
because if you want to make a point, just deal with the person who's responsible for that.
yeah,
And then when you rightly said that Amrita Singh was not utilized really well, you should have used the more of Irfan and Amrita in that movie to
yeah,
build more scenes around the rivalry and the
yeah.
anguish which the parent has with such schools.
Yeah, so I wanted to add to that. So that whole scene where the kids from the government school come and perform suddenly out of nowhere, and
Exactly.
then whatever follows, that had two very conflicting realities. One was, how can you just bring children from another school to come and perform? Very unrealistic, that whole thing, and it was done as a tool for convincing them, which is fine.
Yeah.
The other very realistic part was, after he had done his whole speech, there were people in the audience who wanted to get up and applaud, but no one did. And that is the reality, because nobody
Yes.
would do it at the behest of their own child's education. Why would they? I would not do it if I had been there. I would also not lie to the extent to which these guys went and lied. I wouldn't. But I would also not take a public stand. Why should I? मेरा बच्चा वहाँ पढ़ रहा है, why should I do this?
I think we should have had a different end. I mean, they should have put her in the government school and maybe encouraged other parents to put their children in a government school and invested. And just they should have explored the idea of people investing in the government schools, making them of a standard in which people are inclined towards sending their children to such schools, and that would have sent a stronger message,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah.
would have sent a stronger message.
Yeah, and they established the fact that he was well connected with the political system in the city or in the state,
Yeah.
maybe. And he could have utilized that to push the government schools to a level that they are not at, which he did in his own little way, but he could have scaled that up. And instead of actually pulling out his own daughter from that school, it's, one person that you're impacting. He could have done a much bigger social society, I feel. But yeah, I mean, great acting. Just closing out on the acting by Irrfan Khan and Deepak Dobriyal. I think they were excellent. So convincing.
Yeah, he's the king of situational comedy. I mean, you can see him in acing in all the movies wherever he's so spontaneous. I mean, if you put him on the stage and you see him perform, it'll be a treat to your eyes.
Yeah.
In Hindi medium, I wanted to highlight that it was Deepak Dobriyal who was outstanding in the second half of the movie. And the reason why second half was so good was because of his great acting.
Yeah, there was more chemistry between Irrfan and Deepak Dobriyal, I think, than between Irrfan and Saba. So that kind of sums up their bromance in a great way.
Definitely, I agree with you once again. Which other actor would have played this role if not Irrfan Khan?
I thought maybe Pankaj Tripathi could have come a bit close, but I think Irrfan Khan may be irreplaceable in something like this. What do you think?
I have a different take. You might laugh at my choice, but I believe Akshay Kumar could have done justice to this. Hear me out, because I mean he's good with movies that reflect the problems in our society and like talk about the flaws in the system. So he's been like really good in such kind of movies. Maybe he would have been an alternate choice, but nothing as compared to what Irfan did, because he's outstanding.
Interesting. Do you think Akshay would have aced the language and the emotion of Chandni Chowk, as well as, even though Akshay Kumar is from Chandni Chowk, but
You're right. Yeah.
I think he would have been able to portray that.
That's again debatable. We'll have to do another round of reviews with to discuss that point.
What is there that one can't learn, right? Maybe he would have learned it.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Ayush, for coming and talking about Hindi medium with us.
Thank you so much.
Meet again on another review like this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Priya. Bye.
Bye.